communicate to you the process so far. So first thing we are getting into, have a look at this. It's called One Page Wonder this week. We have two goals that we're working on. The first goal is varying our sentences. So there's two parts to this task. Rewrite these ideas as compound or complex sentences. That's the first part. So I'm not going to write them because then you might basically just have mine to copy. But an example is, horses are amazing creatures. My mother is scared of horses. So there's two ideas on the same topic. They're separate. So you could join them in two different ways. You could join them as a compound sentence or a complex sentence. So an example of a compound sentence is just joining them with a conjunction, and an example of a conjunction meaning like an and or another joining word. An example of a complex sentence. I'm going to give you an example of a complex sentence for this one. I'm going to write it into Hemingway so you can see what Hemingway app is, because it's a really cool app that I use quite a bit to decide whether something's too hard for you guys. So, horses are amazing creatures. My mother is scared of horses. That's two separate sentences. Oopsie. This is amazing creatures. So, horses are amazing. Full stop. My mother is scared of
horses are amazing creature. My mother is scared of horses.
Creatures. Cool. So that's the same sentence. Now you can see that they are the same sentences. So this task, you are to take those sentences and rewrite them in a way that instead of being two short sentences, they become one sentence. So although this is amazing creatures, although horses are amazing, my mother is petrified of them. So this, just so we cut this out, I'll just cut, that's the new sentence.
Although horses are amazing creature, my mother is petrified of them.
I keep on doing that, missing the S's, that's classic Mr. B. But if you look, that says that that's grade 6. If I cut that, that's grade 4. So you've covered the same topic, but it's not as advanced writing. So that, what they're saying is that this one here is, you know, the sort of writing that a year 5 can read, year 5 can read, a year 4 can read. And what they're saying is when you phrase it like this is more like year 6, year 7 reading, which is what you want to be aiming for. Complex sentences are the hardest to work around. Oh, it's saying grade 9 now. Ooh. That's because I left that in there. And why is it saying it? It's because it has one sentence that is hard to read. It's only 11 words, but it's a complex sentence. Oh well. So that's the idea behind those ones. You are changing those sentences into compound or complex sentences. One rule, you're not allowed to use all complex and you're not allowed to use all compound sentences. I want to see some variation in there. These ones are almost the opposite. Although Freddie is much bigger than most of his class, Mr. A towers over him. So you've got to cut it down into two separate sentences. And same with this. I love to ride the train to work, but the way home is awful. So breaking it into two different sentences. Then we go on to, you need to write down everything you know about zoos and specifically about cheetahs. So think about your life, things that you've encountered. Think, Natureland, you've probably been to Natureland, stuff like that. I've given you a hint that it should be about a paragraph long by the amount of spaces I've left here. Here's the last part though. It needs to have at least one short sentence and two compound / or complex sentences in it. So we're just really working on that compound and complex sentence thing. Then after that, you're going to read this little thing here. Going to write down anything you learnt, new learning. Then you're going to read Article 2, new learning, and then you're going to answer this question, which is a real doozy. Now look, you've got about, I've written about 15 lines in there, so I really expect half a page of work. That's what I'm saying for that. It's similar stuff to what you've done before, but now we're not comparing text to prior knowledge so much. It's text to prior knowledge. So you're adding two texts. Remember to refer to your texts when you're writing your final answer. Don't just go off your gut feeling, even if your gut feeling is based in the text. Refer back to it, say stuff like in 2009, 6 cheetahs died in zoos around the world, or there's information on it. That makes me hesitate around the question. The question is, it's quite a cool question. Now imagine you've just been given a baby cheetah. You have the decision to either send it to the zoo or sell it to a friend who will look after it. You have to decide and write your answer in what you'd think would be best for the cheetah after reading these two articles. That was a bit backwards the way I said that, but start off with your prior knowledge, everything you know about zoo life and cheetahs, big cats and zoos. Then you read this. Write anything that you learnt about the cheetahs. Read this one. Anything you learnt about zoo life. And then answer the question. Hopefully you have fun. Good luck.